Hi everyone, it's Mimi. Welcome back to my channel. I am here to share with you guys a project that I created for a really sweet friend. This is only the second time that I've made this particular item, and let me just show you. And I'm gonna try to get it in frame as best I can. So I created this super Pinkalicious shabby tote bag. I did sew this from scratch. The base material, it's kind of like a suede in this kind of off-white camel type of color. So I put that together, but before I did, I layered all of these super yummy laces after I'd actually dyed them. A lot of these laces are pure white. As you can see, the color variation in these laces, and that's just from the material that they're made out of and how well that the dye took. So I did end up using a lot of my dangle laces because I wanted this bag to have a lot of movement. And I also created these flowers, and they also have these dangly bits. I cut these from remaining items that I had left over from the laces that I used on the main part of the bag, and just included them in this little kind of tassel. A lot of them, like the longer, really skinny laces, I did just fold over so they kind of create a loop. And they're exactly the same on each side. I did create these flowers as well, as you can see. So I just took a couple of the laces. You can't really see the little tool. This one is the polka dots, and it's from the same lace that's in this bag. And I wish there was a better way for me to show you, but there is just layers upon layers of different trims. A lot of it is covered up. Before I actually did that, if you can see this, layer right here. This was actually gifted to me by my friend Kat. Hi Kat. And I had quite a bit of this. So it's actually in a layer of 3 going up the bag, but it's all hidden from the layers upon layers of laces that I included on here. I first dyed that as well because it's normally a more of a beigey color. So that's dyed pink. I wanted this bag to be really, really soft, not like a bright pink. This is the first time I actually used fabric dye to create the color that I wanted. So it was a little bit of a trial and error. When I first did it, I used a different type of fabric dye, and it came out really dark and rich. So I actually used a color remover to remove the color from those and re-dyed them with a liquid fabric dye. Worked out much better. I kind of have more of a handle of how long I need to keep the laces in there for the desired color that I wanted. And I also did all of that in my kitchen sink. So it was really a less cumbersome thing than doing it in like a, you can also do it on top of the stove, as well as you can do it in a washing machine. And these are the beautiful colors that came out. I did string some of these, I think these are either 3 or 4 millimeter pearls, and this I got from Frank Garcia's studio. I attached my little flowers to each side of the handle. I created these handles from a very, very light pink shade of fabric from my stash. I did put some batting in between the layers to give it more substantial sturdiness. And this is a lace that I had in my stash. I cannot remember where I got it from. It was originally white. I dyed that too. I stitched it onto the handle, and because I used clear thread, you can't see it. And that's exactly what I wanted to have happen, so that you couldn't see the stitches running through it. And I did sort of like a zigzag stitch. And I did that for both of the handles, and then just top stitched on one end of it. The back is completed as well. So for the back, I also lined the majority of the bag with that lace, that really flat lace. And then I adhered this cotton trim. This is from Dee's store, Elegant Embellishments. And where it hung down, I did lightly tack in by hand sewing the little hanging parts, if that makes sense, because I didn't want to glue anything on this bag together. I believe the only time I glued anything is from using or for placing these little tiny bows. I think these are from Daiso, but I really liked the color because it contrasted well with the pinks that are going on. I use these really long dangly flowers. They do come connected. I just cut off each little flower and use them along the back, and I think it just gives it a nice finish. So here it is again, a look at the front of the bag. I hope she loves it. When you're doing a project like this, I really highly suggest to just keep going, because in the beginnings I had no clue how this was going to turn out, and as soon as I started layering my laces, it just transformed into this, and I'm super happy with it. To kind of hide where I sewed the different, I have 2 layers of the pearls, and I attached them to one of the dangles. I just sewed them on, and then to hide that, I crinkled some pink seam binding from my stash. This is actually from Dee's store as well. She had a bundle of seam binding a couple months ago, so I created a bow and just sewed that on right where the pearls were attached to hide that. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, this is the second one I've ever done, and this is not normally something that's really comfortable for me, but I'm glad that I did give it a try again, and I love the way that it turned out. So I hope this gives you some inspiration, and I cannot wait to send this off to my friend, and I hope she loves it too. So thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone.